remains an unrestricted free agent. He can sign with any team this summer at any time. This will be his 24th season in the NBA for the 41-year-old James. And standing by once more is our Shams Charania here in Vegas. So, Shams, what's the latest in this process?
Hannah, all of the information so far has funneled through agent Rich Paul with LeBron James. And so they've been in a process of gathering information. And one interesting wrinkle that has occurred in the last several days is some of the leading suitors for LeBron James, whether that's a Golden State, a Cleveland, Miami, Minnesota, Philadelphia, some of them have been able to send a voice note to LeBron James via Rich Paul. So whether it's an owner, a president, or a general manager, being able to record a voice note, I'm told, send it to Rich Paul, and that makes its way to LeBron James. This is just a part of LeBron James's process of studying as he makes a decision. He has not been in a rush. There's been no timetable that he's been operating under. I'm told there's been a lot of family time, friends time, golf, of course, over the last couple of weeks. The last two he's spent in the Akron, Ohio area, including with one of his close friends that he grew up with in Brandon Weems, who's now one of the leading executives of the Cleveland Cavaliers under President Kobe Altman. So the process continues, and it's unclear whether Cleveland or Miami have been among the teams that have sent a voice note to LeBron via Rich Paul. Again, they kind of don't need to. They already had him in their buildings in the recent past.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's hilarious. Shams, we appreciate your attention to detail is just unlike any other that you have unearthed that, Shams Charania. Thank you so much. We'll check back with you. What in the world? Okay, front office, man. I mean, can you imagine?
Well, I'll say this. In 2010, when we met with LeBron, we rolled in Jay-Z. So we certainly have changed a lot in 16 years. We also gave him an iPad that showed him why he could become the first billion-dollar athlete. However, the league wound up investigating us for a salary cap circumvention.
Wow.
So
there you go.
Certainly a lot has changed. And when the #1 free agent and one of the best players ever is out there, you will do anything.
So you're telling me that we have all these executives bringing their phones out,
waiting for voice notes.
even of the elder generation, and it's like, hey, LeBron, come to my school. This is what we're doing in 2026. You know what? I love it.
Wait, so I'm like picturing Alex Rodriguez, right? Like sitting there.
No. This has to be like a FaceTime. He can't do a voice memo.
I love it, man. I love that he's taking his time. Obviously, I want him to see where he's going. Teams would love to see where he's going. He's enjoying his family. He's enjoying his golf. He's letting Rich do his job. But this does seem a little extreme. But when you're the king, you get away with a lot. You can do whatever you want.
I just think it's so funny.
It
and I'm
is.
wondering what they're saying. And I wonder if they're like scripting out like what they want to say or just saying,
Passing
please,
the phone.
please. But anyway, that's great. I love the process. Listen, we've seen people making pitches. We saw Bob Myers on a podcast making a pitch with Rich Paul just sitting there. All right, so we're in Vegas. Anybody hit the tables last night?
No.
I did not. I'm not a gambler. I don't think I'm a lucky guy.
I'm really proud of you all. And I'm glad that you saved some time because we're going to play a little poker right now. We're going to go all in for the king. So does everybody have their poker hand
I do.
in front of them? Where's our chips? Okay, whatever. You know, details. Danny.
Yes.
You have a poker hand. We're talking Sixers. What hand do you think they have?
They have a full house. And speaking of the process is now
there you go.
with the big JB, you got the big 7 there now. You got BJ Edgecombe with the 2 7s. So we got 3 7s on board. Those who can't see right now, sorry.
There you go.
7s. And if you bring the king, you got 2 kings. So that's a full
I
house.
love it.
You obviously got Tyrese Maxey, you got Joel Embiid. This is a really good set roster, especially when Joel is healthy. You add LeBron James to that, this is an unbelievable hand that you could not, it's hard to beat.
Tyrese Maxey is
go
also a
with the full house
client.
Yes.
All right.
So here you go. There's
So
a
there
lineup
we
right there. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown. There's a 77 with the 7s. Add the king with Joel Embiid. This is a lineup that said, you're in the East, this is one that's hard to beat.
Yeah, and Shams reported that it was the Brown trade that really brought the Sixers into the mix here. All right, who you got?
Danny, do you know what beats a full house? Okay.
Unfortunately, I know a lot of things beat a full house.
Hello, I'm going to reveal mine. It is 4 of a kind.
For who?
LeBron James going to Golden State.
Okay.
4 of a kind because
Four
we're talking
kings.
about 4 kings,
4
4
kings.
championships. And let's think about just the synergies there. There are a lot of bromance brewing. We saw it. It started
Draymond
in
and-
Paris, right? Steph and LeBron. You think about Draymond Green. That's his bestie as well. Defensively, this 4 of a kind is elite. You include Steve Kerr, who coached Steph and LeBron, and especially in those big clutch
And
moments.
they all have 4 rings.
They all have 4 rings.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm looking at this potential starting 5, looking at how they respond well. The respect is mutual, but most importantly, can you imagine? We talk about assists to shots from Draymond to Steph. Imagine Draymond screening and finding LeBron James the game. This would be one of the highest basketball IQs, the greatest shooter of all time, one of the greatest players of all time, one of the greatest facilitators, one of the greatest coaches. That's why I've got 4 for the K.
Hand.
4 for the K.
Very excited. Let it rain.
Bring
Okay.
out the chips.
It would be
All
very
right,
exciting to watch, though.
I really do want to go to a
Bob
casino
might have the
with you.
strongest hand.
Wow. Well,
Bobby, you have the Cavs.
I
What
do.
kind of hand do they have?
Well, as they say in Vegas, the house always wins, right? And when you look at it, right,
That is the house.
right.
Okay, hold it up.
Here we go. And I'm not even a card player, so I don't even know what this means. But I know what the producer told me. But I think, well, listen, when you look at Cleveland, you've got Donovan Mitchell, you've got James Harden, who's going to sign, you've got the bigs and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, you've got the shooters off the bench and Max Strus and Sam Merrill. And young man, it's never too late to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To Cleveland for LeBron James.
But according to Shams, they're not doing this.
I know.
They're not sending voice memos because they
They
don't
know
have
him already. They know him well. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that, too. We got the house royal flush. I like Jalen Tyson. They got Tomlin over there. They got pieces, Sam Merrill. Going back home would be storybook, but all these destinations I think are great. And the royal flush obviously beats the 4 of a kind, and it beats the full house.
Why are you going to do
So I
that,
don't
Swarm?
know.
We're
I
trying
don't
to win
know.
over here.
We'll see if
Trying to make some money over
It would be
here.
nice to see him go home, but again, I would love to see him in Philly. I would also exciting to see Golden State.
I feel like this is.
No,
Oh, I'm not
older.
good at. I'm not good at like
But
dicing. You know what I mean?
Ron,
You're
take your
showing
time,
up.
but let us know.
Bad.
I would love for him to do something new. That's
Yeah,
what
there
I
you
would.
go.
I would.
Yeah, why not?
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a really cool
Somewhere
final
you weren't
chapter.
there. Someplace
There you
you
go.
haven't played before.
Might be
Yeah. Okay. Which would be Minnie, Philly,
Denver,
Golden
Golden
State.
State,
Who knows?
Philly.
Denver does not appear to be one of the top 5
No.
left
What?
right
Nothing.
now, but it's intriguing. All right. So we're talking Cavs. We're talking LeBron. We're at Summer League. Let's flash it back. 23 years ago, he made his Summer League debut. Let's just say
older than these kids.
that this translated just fine, right, to the NBA.
Oh, yes.
Look
Again,
at
he was
that.
in the Summer League before these guys were born here.
That's the Boston Summer League.
Yeah,
that
it
is
is.
going way back there.
It is.
Wow.
It's just so cool when you look back on him then and the moves now and this incredible, the length of his career and what he's still able to do.
Those
At
highlights
40.
are the same.
Yes, he's doing a lot of these highlights at 41.
Oh man.
Wow.
There's a young fella.
Little English.
And that's
Yep.
the beauty of Summer League. It's where we get to see the forecast of greatness,
The
right?
chase down, man.
Oh,
And don't forget, out of high school,
Yeah.
right? Out of high school when you could do that.
oh, don't blink. You'll see 23 years
Yeah.
in between.
And then bringing a championship back home. What a storybook career already, no matter what this final
He has
chapter is.
multiple Hall of Fame careers.
Greatest career of all time.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Greatest
There
career
we
of all
go. To
time.
leave it there.
That's what we are.
We could talk about that later. How's Darren Peterson feeling ahead of tonight's matchup?
He's doing good.
We got an interview with him coming up. Also, Lynx head coach
Yes.
Cheryl Reeve accomplishing something that's never been accomplished in the W.
Shout out to the
Hall of
W.
Famer. Talk about Hall of Famer,
I'm
right?
spoiling it.
And Dusty May joins us live on set. Head man in Dallas. And NBA Summer League kicks off today, highlighted by the blockbuster matchup between the two top picks in the draft, A.J. Debonsa and Darren Peterson. And as befits such a big occasion, look at the lineup. We have front office insider on his birthday.
There you go.
Thank you.
A former number one pick, Tanae Ogumake. Danny Green has made the trip to Vegas. But first, right off the top of NBA Today, we have some breaking news. And for that, we're going to go to Shams Charania here in Vegas. Shams.
Hannah, sources tell me that the Clippers-Raptors trade centered around Kawhi Leonard will not be complete until the Clippers are done with their investigation with the NBA into the aspiration situation regarding allegations of funneling money to Kawhi Leonard through endorsement deals. And so earlier this week, the Raptors and Clippers were set to have a trade call to finalize the deal that sent Kawhi Leonard back to Toronto for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, and draft assets. But the league, I'm told, ended up delaying that call and now has decided that the teams will not be moving forward unless the Raptors assume the risk of potential outcomes that come from that investigation. We still don't have a timeline for that investigation. Adam Silver said about a month ago that it could be coming to be wrapped up soon. It still has not been. And so over the last several weeks, the Clippers have engaged with multiple teams around Kawhi Leonard trade talks. None of those teams operated with any restriction that they would be dealing with any fallout after a deal being completed for Kawhi Leonard. But now that the Raptors and Clippers were set to finalize this deal, do the trade call with the NBA has essentially paused that conversation until the end of their investigation. The Raptors decide today that they will not be assuming the risk of any discipline or any other fallout that could happen with Kawhi Leonard after the league investigation is over. So the Raptors and the Clippers are on hold, as well as Kawhi Leonard, Brandon Ingram, and Grady Dick right now.
Wow, so a lot of people, both teams in limbo. And if you can, Shams, just remind people how long this investigation has already been going on.
Hannah, this investigation with the league has been going on for about 10 months, and the Clippers have been at the center of the league's investigation into whether this company aspiration, along with the Clippers, had funneled money to Kawhi Leonard on the side. Kawhi Leonard, his former business associate and uncle Dennis Robertson, have been interviewed by the league in the last couple of months as the league has been trying to whittle down their investigation along with a third-party law firm, Wachtell. But now it has had impact on trade that Kawhi Leonard is supposed to be going to Toronto. And the expectation around all sides is that this deal will end up happening at the end of the day, Hannah. But this just in, that deal is now on hold until the NBA's investigation is over.
Yeah, Shams, thank you so much also for reminding people of the complex nature of what the league is trying to unravel here and still has not reached a conclusion. And so, Bobby Marks, as we go back to our panel here, this is something that you had been saying could affect this trade possibly, and we hadn't seen this trade finalized. So what's your reaction to what you heard from Shams?
Well, it's funny. Danny and I are looking at each other, and we're both saying, wow.
Yeah.
And I think once we got to noon on July 6th, and then we got to that night, and there was no trade, then there was talk, well, maybe that deal was going to be expanded. Maybe Peyton Watson was included here. But now we are on July 9th. The trade has not been finalized, as Shams said. I give the league credit, at least as far as giving the Raptors a heads up, because remember, we went through this with Terry Rozier. Miami and Charlotte make a trade for Terry Rozier. He had been investigated. There was no wrongdoing. The Heat trade for him, and then he is basically suspended for the year, and they had given up a draft pick here. It's a story that's going to continually develop here. Hopefully, as Shams said, this is 10 months in.
Right. Hopefully
we're going to get some closure pretty soon on this investigation.
But it kind of tells you, it's taken this long, it tells you that there are still questions to be answered.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Obviously, I know the league has to do what it's supposed to do, like what it needs to do. I hope this ends quicker because this is really putting a damper on a homecoming for Kawhi. And you see him at Kyle Lowry's retirement. Shout out to Kyle Lowry. He deserves all the flowers in the world because he's one of the greatest teammates I've ever had. And he's a great player, had a hell of a tenure. But Kawhi's happy. He's at home. City is buzzing. They all love him. Everybody's excited that he's back in Toronto. And now you have this news. So I'm not a fan of it. I know the league has to do what they're supposed to, but hopefully they can close this up. sooner than later so that we can, have Kawhi back in Toronto, sooner than later.
Yeah, I would say that the silver lining is that at least there's some accountability for this to be over, so people choose whether or not they assume the responsibility in the conversations with Kawhi, because you don't want this to continue to linger 10 months, 11, 12, we're at a year mark. And so I see this more so as accountability for all sides to put this to bed, because this was one of those stories that followed the Clippers and followed Kawhi, and I think this is finally the level to say, all right, let's make sure this is addressed before anything else happens moving forward.
Listen, it still has to be adjudicated. Obviously, we're going to see what penalties might come down from this, but it really is. I know you don't like seeing it. It does feel fair to Toronto.
Oh, considering the price that they had to give up. 2 unprotected first, a pick swap, Brandon Ingram here. The last thing that they could say was, well, you know what? We're okay with the responsibility. And then all of a sudden the investigation comes in. You have a player that potentially might not be able to play here.
Right. They shouldn't have to pay the price for anything that happened.
Yeah, again, it is fair. It's what needs to happen. We just need to, I was hoping that it was settled by after All-Star. They hosted it in Intuit Dome, so we was hoping the news happened then. Hopefully it ends before the summer's over.
I'm sure everybody was hoping that that would be settled. Again, Adam Silver said soon, whatever that means, but better sooner rather than later. Now, in the meantime, we ready to move on to Summer League?
Please.
Right, we have 3 games tonight. This is so exciting. Obviously, the court is empty behind us. The Clippers were practicing here earlier, by the way. All eyes will be on top overall pick A.J. Debonsa. Stepping onto the court as a Washington Wizard for the first time. And keep in mind, Debonsa led the nation in scoring in his lone season at BYU. First player to do that and be drafted #1 in over 30 years. Wow. As we take a quick trip down memory lane for some other highly anticipated top draft picks that are going to be shining here in Summer League that already did. Remember Blake Griffin? He won
that's
Summer
my class
League
right there,
MVP.
2009,
I feel bad because he was my favorite player in that class.
He averaged 19
I had a poster of him on my wall.
Close to 11 rebounds for the Clips. The next year, the #1 pick also took home Summer League. How about John Wall? He won it all.
Talk about the runway leading to the move, the Dougie move, iconic.
Yeah. Showing AJ what it takes to get it done.
There you go.
Of course, Wemby.
Love that. Yeah. Hey, Wemby, you remember he struggled shooting in his debut?
His first game was uncomfortable.
Yeah. Then he dominated his second game. He has 27 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. And then, of course, Cooper Flagg.
Playing the point
on
forward.
his way to a Rookie of the Year season. All right, so let's talk about #1 with pick #1.
Yeah, why not?
A.J. Debonsa. What do you want to see from him tonight?
Okay, A.J. Debonsa, he is going to be a go-to player for years to come. But when we think about his go-to move, it brings back my hometown, Tracy McGrady and the Hezzy pull. So let's break it down and show you some of these side-by-sides, because if you look at the resume, Tracy McGrady, when he came into the league, they said he's someone that's graceful, he moves well, he has elite athleticism and extraordinary feel for the ball. You can say the exact same thing about A.J. Debonsa. He led the nation in scoring, and what I love about him is that he has the personality. He's expressive on the floor. He has the game. He's got the play. But now it's about galvanizing the rest of the team and galvanizing the fans to feel like our page has turned. We can now go into winning mode. And lastly, I'll say this: you need someone with a high-level motor on the floor alongside Trae Young and potentially, obviously, Anthony Davis. He's that type of dude. You saw the video clips. Ooh, defense.
Oh, yeah, it was.
A.J. Debonsa, I don't even care about the points. I just want to feel the vibes that he brings, the excitement to the city.
And I'm right there with you. I know everybody's looking for him to score. I want to see his playmaking. And there was a video, a film that we watched earlier, his breakdowns of seeing how double teams are going to come at him, how he's going to maneuver around those, how he's going to find and create on that set. Now, there's been rumblings of how great Darren Peterson's been. He hears them.
We've seen
how
it.
He should be #1 pick. He hears it, too. So there's always that edge, that chip on your shoulder. Sinead talks about being #1 pick and following the guys behind you and not letting them get the best of you. So you better believe he's going to come into Summer League Game 1 from then on to try to make a statement and make a stand and show that he's the #1 pick, because he has things you can't teach.
And here's the thing. We saw Victor Wembanyama struggle in his first game in Summer League. Oh, Cooper Flagg did not have a good
a lot of
first
guys
game
struggle.
in Summer League, all right? It basically means nothing. It means nothing. But if he's going to show the world that he deserved to be that #1 pick and not Darren Peterson, what does he need to do?
Well, I think his range. He shot 33% at BYU last year. I think Danny hit it right on the head, playmaking. A year ago, I was sitting here talking about Cooper Flagg, and I say, I want to see Cooper Flagg as a playmaker here. I think we're going to see that with AJ here. Look, when you look at their roster with Trey Johnson and Will Riley, 2 players they drafted last year, I think we could see AJ playing a little bit point guard in this game. And the one thing that the teams are a little bit concerned on is handle. A little north of 3 turnovers last year here. So playmaking, the ability to stretch the floor, where is he with his handle? Summer League is about getting better day to day, game to game here. And I think from a playmaking standpoint, that's the one thing I'm looking forward to.
When these 2 guys met in high school, by the way, they combined for over 100 points. So I'm just saying it could be a lot of fun. You know, we're going to heave it up, right? We're in Summer League. We're going to just keep on shooting.
The biggest thing for me also is the shooting, right? Shout out to Jimmy Fredette. He was also, I think, class of 2011 with Kawhi. But he was a shooter at BYU. Maybe he learned a thing or two from him to get the consistency from shooting in the perimeter, but that's one thing that AJ, I think, can expand on, and he will playing with those guys.
Yeah, listen, you're going to see that game tonight on ESPN. We have 4 games for you today on the ESPN family of networks and a lot to come on NBA today. All right, the LeBron waiting game continues. Shams here in Vegas already had some breaking news. Now he's going to tell us what's going on in this biggest story in free agency. And the biggest Summer League showdown is here. We talked about AJ. We talked about Darren Peterson. We're going to talk more about who may make the biggest statement. And fresh off taking that Mavericks job, Dusty May is going to join us. Why was Dallas the right fit? And what is first on his developing story? LeBron James.
26 NBA draft, the Utah Jazz select Darren Peterson from the University of Kansas.
I love you. I got you, Ma. What's up, Ma? What's up? I love you, dude.
Hey, we couldn't be more excited. They're going crazy here, bro.
Dude, I'm ready. I can't wait to get there.
Big smile.
Bro, I'll catch you later. I took over this league, though.
I don't even know how to explain it, bro. To be honest.
Well, dreams come true in New York City, but what happens in Vegas? It stays here, first of all. But it is Summer League. It can serve as a birthplace of future NBA legends, and AJ DeBonce and Darren Peterson getting their first clash at the NBA level tonight. This is far from the first time they have faced off on the hardwood.
It's a good shot.
As we flash it back,
The best.
guys, they actually met in high school, these 2. And they combined for over 100 points. I mean, what were people saying about them coming out of college?
Well, similar to where we saw with the draft, they thought both these players were neck and neck as far as the top prospects. I had one team even say, like, if there was no eligibility rule, these guys would have probably been lottery picks if they're coming out of high school.
Right out of high school, yeah. They showed that potential, the things you can't teach. You know, AJ being like 6'9", 6'10", athletic. Darren Peterson the same. He's so smooth, silky, gets to his spots, his step backs. These kids are way beyond, ahead of their years. Things, again, that you can't teach.
You know what they say, the music, from boys to men, from boys to men. Look, they were straight buckets, but I just like how competitive they were just putting up the numbers.
Grown men in high
and
school.
they meet in college, too. Obviously, BYU playing Kansas. This was on January 31st, 2026.
And what you saw was all 3 levels of Darren Peterson's game. They're going to vacate the middle so that he can cook. He's so good going off dribble, and he stays focused and he stays poised. And so he'll hit you with a mid-range, or he'll get all the way to the rim, but he also does damage on both ends of the floor. Look how quickly in transition he gets out and goes. This is a read right here, the read that everyone's watching, and I know that every seat was taken, not just fans, but also GMs, front office members, because this is what they want to see. When you're the smaller player, you have to stay in attack mode. Again, got to the rim, then he got to the mid-range, and lastly, look at this. They're going to run flappy action for him all the time because he can shoot. He's a pure bucket. Again, all 3 levels on display in this matchup.
Yeah, Peterson had only 18 points in this one because he had to leave because of the cramping issue. Certainly didn't hurt his draft stock. Tim McMahon caught up with him in Salt Lake.
You are a guy who obviously has a lot of confidence and a lot of pride.
No pride.
No, you've got some pride. Pride's not a bad thing. Pride's not a bad thing.
We can use that. I say more confident. I wouldn't say pride. I don't got no pride.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of confidence. You felt like you should have been the #1 overall pick in the draft. Is that a fair statement?
You can say that, yeah. I think a lot of us did.
I think at least 3 did.
At least three or four was there, yeah.
3 or 4, that's fair. Anything extra about your Vegas debut against AJ?
Nah, not really. I just want to go out there and try to help the team win. That's the biggest thing for me.
Danny, he had 25 points and 12 assists in front of those fans in Salt Lake. That probably shouldn't come as a surprise because in high school, he was known for his passing. Maybe not so much in college.
I mean, I think the points was not surprising. People know he can go get buckets. He's a scorer. But the assists is what kind of impressed me the most. And seeing how he breaks it down, as you can roll the tape and show these people in the pick and roll situations, he's making these right reads. If he comes off this pick and roll, he sees the bigs coming up, they're aggressive, takes his time, sees the big roll and finds him. No look pass, wide open layup for his big man right there. Same situation again, coming off the left hand. Somebody sets a big screen, they're trying to trap him up the floor, they're aggressive, knowing he can shoot the 3. He finds his big man rolling again, gets an easy little floater in the mid-range right there, a little hook shot. These are the possessions, these are the plays he's going to have to make in Utah, being somewhat of a point guard because they have Keontae George, they have Jaren Jackson, they have Lauri Markkanen. He's going to have to be a playmaker in that system at some. We know he can score, but he's going to have to be able to make those reads as well.
Yeah, and I would actually just feed off of that because when you have not just post players, but pick and pop post players in Lauri and also in Jaren Jackson Jr., that makes him even more lethal. Yeah. That's actually going to lend more to his scoring because defenses are going to go out with them and he'll be able to, at his size, get downhill.
A lot of space.
So is it too early to say Utah might be looking pretty good?
No, I don't think it's too early. I think they'll be in a playoff situation. You know, I think
Listen,
really
we talked about it. We thought there was probably 3 number 1 picks in this year's draft with AJ, Darren, and Cameron Boozer. I think the one thing with Darren at Kansas last year is I think he tried to fit within the system. And when we showed those highlights in high school, he played more on the ball. I love his pace.
Yes.
His pace reminds me a lot of James Harden. Certainly different physique, but basically the ability to kind of get to his spots. He had averaged 7 assists. The turnovers is part of Summer League. Averaging 5 turnovers is part of this, and I'm excited to see him today with AJ when they match up together.
And Bobby, when you think back to the weeks ahead of the draft, he was so discussed, right? Like, what were the off-the-field issues? Like, why was he playing? Why wasn't he playing? Did he take care of the cramping and all of that? There was just so much dialogue around him, and now it seems like he is going to be a great NBA player.
There is a lot of smoke around the draft time here. And I think when you look at his demeanor at high school, that was the same demeanor at Kansas, and it was probably the same demeanor we saw last week. He is not the person that is going to be very outspoken here, but I think what he does on the court says a lot about his actions.
Okay, so he thought he was going to be the number 1 pick, right? But he was the number 2 pick, all right? And the number 1 pick was AJ Dubonsa. Now, you were the number 1 pick, so your number 2 pick in your draft was Odyssey Sims, right? Were you feeling a little something when you guys had to match up?
I'm going to be honest. So before the draft, they had us go through a walkthrough, and I remember they were practicing. There was Ryan Ruocco, I think, or maybe it was Kevin Nagandi, and it was also Rebecca Lobo, and they put Odyssey as the number 1 pick when we were getting our hair and makeup done, just rehearsing, and I had a heart attack because I was like, oh my gosh, this is my dream. But that's how much you care about it. The moment the commissioner walks across the stage, there's a new wave of motivation that follows you for the rest of your life. For AJ Dubonsa, he wants to, no matter where he goes, the first thing that they're going to say is he's the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, and he wants to live up to that. For Darren Peterson, he wants to prove that he should have been that guy. And so I love this because this is going to follow them and bring out the best in them. And so in my circumstance, that's why I blacked out when the commissioner said my name, because I was so stressed from the rehearsals thinking I was not number 1. But these guys, I know you're splitting hairs here and what you want, right? But still, this is probably like some of the most exciting things because if you think back to last year, Summer League was a platform where not only number 1 picks become names, right? But also like guys that could be in the conversation also make a name for themselves as well. So there are a lot of guys, not just 1 and 2, that care about this.
Listen, it's a narrative being number 1 that follows you the rest of your life, right? Like it really does. It's something that you have to live up to, or in some cases not live up to. All right, but she has lived up to it all. All right, since we're talking this, let's go top of the top because we got this is the 21st Summer League in Vegas. We got some of the top moments for you here. We're going to go top fluidity. We're going to go just, by category. And this series of moves from J.R. Smith back in 2010.
How about that uniform? Look at those baggy shorts there.
That's how it was back in the day. I feel like JR was not a rookie or a second-year player in this draft. He just came in and was like, all right, I'm going to hoop today. And had like 30-something.
Game built for it.
JaVale McGee getting fancy.
Rocking the cradle.
Yeah, rocking it.
Uh.
It's It's fun seeing them. They're all baby faces.
I know, right? And Jeremy Pargo going just full mixtape there.
Man, he was very good.
Look.
He should have had a longer stint in the league. He was very good coming out.
We still see you.
All right, we've also got Tomahawk, Alanis Williams. This is 2024, maybe the best dunk we've ever seen here in
This is
Vegas.
nasty.
Oh,
So
yeah,
nasty.
Yeah. Hannah, you might be right.
I mean, seriously, right? We got to give this its due.
That's hard to do with nobody there.
But Jackson Hayes is pretty good. Speaking of dunks.
Oh,
Watch
my
out.
goodness.
Might have been a charge.
I mean, you made the right play.
Right.
Yeah, how about Johnny Furphy last year?
Oh!
I know.
He did that a bunch this year, too, during
Yeah,
He did.
did.
That's fun.
That's nasty. That face.
Oh, that's not
Sorry.
fair.
We are really sorry
I
for
would
that.
petition to get that off the internet.
Oh, my God.
wipe
Top two-hander. How about Rudy Gay?
Okay, Rudy.
Great footage here. How about
Playing China here.
That's right.
2007.
Man. Baby bunnies.
We can talk about this guy, Jaylen
Jaylen
Brown,
Brown going upstairs.
against Portland. It's 2019.
Hands for
Jaylen
safety.
Brown.
I love the flat top. You remember the flat top?
Please go back to the flat top.
Yeah.
Like if you can.
How about Zion with the
Give me
rip
the ball.
and the slam?
Talk about hype moments. One of the best ever, Zion's debut here.
Zion smash.
That game was actually halted because of an earthquake. See the camera
I
shaking
remember.
Zion created
There?
it.
Top 75. LeBron drive and dunk in 03.
one of many. Probably that was the first of many.
Yeah, he probably has over 2,000 dunks in his career.
Dame Lillard, little step back dagger. This is
Oh,
2012.
look at little
Signature.
Dame. That is.
Do a little Dame dance.
There you
Honestly,
go.
you just
Dame
see that,
dunk.
you
Austin
know
Gardner too. Austin Rivers.
Hey, Austin.
And a sign of things to come. Giannis throwing
Oh
it
my
down.
gosh, the glow up for Giannis, I love it.
And Rudy. Wow.
All right, so today is not just a special day because of what's on the court. It is also top
The birthday.
Look
Yeah.
what they have
Zoom in on the
done
sphere.
with the
Got Bobby on the
sphere.
Happy birthday, Bobby.
Wow.
Don't tell James Dolan that.
So good.
That's awesome.
That's how they
That
should
is-
promo Summer League for
That
sure.
is tremendous. Bobby, we tried to get you to go to the Sphere for Kenny Jesse's
I
concert last night.
appreciate
You
it.
didn't go, so we brought you a hat.
Thank
go.
you.
Little,
Thank you.
Hannah
Thank
Jones
you.
with
News
her
radio.
flex.
It's also Vegas, so here's a shot glass.
Maybe later.
Bobby for his 75th birthday.
It's shaped like a heart because
Thank
it's
you.
Bobby.
25.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I just want you to be able to
whole
remember
bunch of
this. So
gifts.
this is for your refrigerator.
Royal flush.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
went all
Put
out.
it on my hotel room fridge.
We went all out. Listen, we appreciate you. How many birthdays have you had in Vegas?
9.
25.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
Nine, 25.
Good place to have a birthday, right?
Good place, 7 after party.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
Bobby.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure you're really happy to be celebrating with us. All right, coming up, we're looking for the next breakout backcourt talent. We got the point guards that you do not want to miss here in Vegas, baby.
This summer, the cup is
And the Clippers' number 5 pick, Keaton Wagler, square off in their Las Vegas Summer League debuts. A-Cup averaged 23.5 points in his 2 games at the California Classic last week. And on the other side, Wagler has yet to play, and he spoke with Katie George this morning ahead of his debut.
We're joined now by the 5th overall pick in this year's NBA draft class, Keaton Wagler. Keaton, great to be with you, great to see you. Walk us through the last few weeks. What's it been like for you since you were selected by the Clippers?
Yeah, it's been kind of all over the place, really. But it's been good just to get out to LA and kind of get my feet under me and get practicing and playing with some of those guys. It's kind of cool just to see all the people that are already there working out, not just the Summer League players, but, you know, older players that are there too. But it's been a lot of fun being able to compete and, you know, finally getting out here to play because it feels like I haven't played in forever.
Oh, I'm sure. Was there a pinch me moment in terms of getting out there on the court with some of the guys on the roster in terms of, wow, I finally made it to the NBA?
It was probably the first day I got to scrimmage out there. I think Darius Garland was playing, and it was like, he's so quick. It was just like, it was kind of crazy. But, yeah, it's kind of got, it was definitely one of those moments.
Through your initial conversations with front office members, with Ty Lue, just how do they hope you and your game can impact this team?
Yeah, I mean, first, they've been really focusing on my defense, especially, you know, getting used to the defensive scheme because it's different than college. But that's kind of been the main focus early. But I think offensively, it's just being aggressive, you know, just trying to get better throughout these games, and just working on my game through it, and just trying to get more comfortable out here, and the biggest thing is kind of just having fun with it too.
I loved on draft night, your dad said he's a killer on the court. Where does that competitive spirit and nature come from?
Honestly, I think from my family. Ever since I was little, we've been a super competitive family, and it didn't matter what it was, like any sport really, or any game, we always wanted to win. And I think that's just what it comes from, is I've always been someone who hates losing. So I want to go out and win every game, no matter what it takes.
You have so many strengths. Obviously, you're an excellent shooter. When you were growing up, did you have a specific player in the NBA that you looked up to or you modeled your game after?
I would say my favorite player to watch was Paul George. But I think as I got older and I started to really focus and want to model my game after someone, I really watched a lot of SGA and Tyrese Halliburton.
I love that. All excellent selections. When you look down the road, 10, 15, 20 years from now, when you look back on your NBA career, what do you hope you've accomplished?
I definitely, want to win a lot of NBA championships. I think that's the main thing. I think if you're on a team that's good and you're winning, then the solo accolades will come with it. So I think the main goal is just, someone who won a lot of games and won championships.
Could we see a 46-point game in your rookie season, possibly?
I hope so. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling.
We hope so, too. Well, thank you so much, Keaton. We appreciate the time. Best of luck in the NBA
Katie,
career.
thank you so much. And before we bounce out of this segment of the show, history was made last night in the W when Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve earned victory number 380, making her the winningest head coach in WNBA history.
Celebration.
I'm so mad because I don't think on this video you saw her dance moves because she was moving it. She was moving it. But when you think about one of the most fiercest competitors in the W is actually on the sidelines in Cheryl Reeve. She has coached greats, Maya Moore, Sylvia Faust, Simone Augustus, Rebecca Brunson. The list goes on and on. Lindsay Whalen, and there she stands at the top of the pinnacle. Many people in the W will say absolutely deserved because of how much she's given to the game.